The Real World, Chapter 5, The Extreme World, Second Island of Idem, 2020. The outposts don't look like much on the map, just silver-colored circles. In reality, they are heavily fortified battle stations. There are 8 of them, each built with reinforced steel and containing a docking bay, armory, surveillance system, and a massive cannon at the top. We spent a lot of time and energy getting this island ready. If only we had finished it sooner. Now none of that may matter, though. I bend forward, placing my hands on my knees, struggling for air. "Jayden!" RT yells as I fall to the ground. He rushes over to help me. "I'm okay," I say as I regain control of my breathing. "I'm okay." He helps me over to the couch, and I take a few seconds to recover. "What do you want to do?" RT asks. I'm sure he has a plan, but he asks for my input, because it's ultimately my decision. I am the captain of the Idem Security Force, or ISF for short. In my current state of mind, I'm not sure that I am the best choice, but the mayor insisted upon it. The circumstances surrounding the attainment of my rank are not something to be proud of either. The official head rank for the ISF is general, but I won't accept that title. For now, as the only captain, I am the acting general. RT is my technical advisor, and Lieutenant Sienna Gable is my second in command. We don't always see eye to eye, but that can be a good thing. "Jayden, what do you want to do?" RT repeats the question. I know I should respond, but all I can do is stare at that little red dot heading toward my island. No vessels have gotten this close to our home since the battle for Idem, the battle for our first island. I take a deep breath and let it out as I stand up and walk over to the screen. I point to the 2 outposts that are nearest to the uninvited submarine. Do we have any working MT units at either of these stations? MT stands for Mobile Tahwiri. These bad boys are drones about the size of a motorcycle. They fly, float, and submerge underwater. Impressive as that is, their primary purpose is even more spectacular. An MT unit can manipulate the weather within a half-mile radius. That makes it easy to drive away any unwanted guests. There is one at each of these posts. They are both ready to be taken out. He responds as if there is another part of the plan that I'm missing. You don't seriously think that we should make contact with them, do you? They could be potential allies. They could be Carlisle and Fullaway coming here to finish the job. RT just stares at me, patiently. He's doing that thing that Doc told him to do. Something about letting me vent a little before speaking again. I can't stand it. "Look," I continue, "I want to believe that there are other good guys out there as well, but we can't risk it. The Ministry could have level 5 superhumans on that vessel. Superhuman level classification is a strange thing. Although it is accurate for the most part, it still has to take into account the many differences between the various abilities that an individual can have. A great shapeshifter could be a level 2, but what happens when he shapeshifts into your friend, gets close to you and poisons your drink or stabs you when your back is turned? Of course, many level 3 to 5 superhumans have a strong resistance to those types of attacks. Even a knife attack on a powerful telekinetic would only result in 1, or at the most 2 stabs before the assailant would be thrown against the wall and their forearm snapped in 2. They could kill us or escape before we can stop them. At the very least, if they don't report back, the Ministry is going to think that we're out here and they will send more. RT is not giving up this time. So we're just going to chase them away with a random storm? What if they get suspicious of that? What if they go around and start to notice that there's a certain area that the storms are encircling? I'm a little shocked at this point. RT's usually one to play it on the safe side. I stare at him, incredulously. I'll at least hear him out. "You've got a plan, I assume?" An excited, nerdy smirk can't help but form across his mouth. "The Tempest is ready." The Tempest is a specialized 2-man jet that can fly, float, and submerge underwater. And in addition to several weapons, it also has its own built-in Tahwiri control system. All we need is an MT unit. RT and I have been repairing it since the battle for Idem. It's been a week since I've seen it, but we weren't that close to completing the work. He must have put in some extra hours recently. "What's your plan?" I say, hoping that it's foolproof. He gets up and points to the board. I can tell that he has rehearsed this in his head. "We fly directly between these 2 outposts, remotely deploy the MT units, and we drive them out here, far away from Idem. The biometric scanners are fully operational, so we can keep our distance and find out what we're dealing with. If their superhumans are too powerful, We leave them alone and return to the island. I have to admit, it's a good plan. The biometric scanners work by sending out a tiny drone that can get super close without being detected. If these are the wrong kind of people, it won't matter. They won't know that we will be tracking them. I didn't know the biometric scanners were ready yet, I reply. You should have opened with that. A relieved smile spreads across his face. So does that mean we're doing this? Alright, I guess I only have one other question. Who gets to fly the Tempest? He looks a little surprised. Wow. Well, I will need to operate the biometric scanners and Tahwiri, so my number one choice for flying the Tempest is not available. I guess, if you want it, it's yours. RT's a good friend. He knows when and how to use humor during tough times. Since the first island was destroyed, I've spent a lot of time alone in my house on the hill, but RT makes sure that I maintain some connection with the rest of the island. Well, thanks, man. I'm honored. RT insists on fixing the buzzer for my door and then heads back to his house, giving me some time to get ready. Mostly because I asked him for it. I put my Manica on to see that a reminder notification has popped up. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to have a therapy session with Doc today. I think this surveillance mission can get me out of it. I must not be fully alert yet because I find myself staring at Doc's picture on the notification. It's an older picture from when he was starting out as a physician. That's how he looked when I first met him. It was right after my first hand-to-hand fight. It was an organized fight that was set up to test me. I was only 8 years old. Everyone on Idem must fight when they are 8 years old, boys and girls. Every citizen who is not an active member of the ISF trains and is considered to be a reserve member. Everyone must be a soldier. From conception, we are monitored for signs of superhuman abilities. Once we turn 8 years old, we are paired off with other children of similar ability levels and tested. One of these tests is a fight lasting until knockout, submission, or the completion of 3 rounds, each 3 minutes long. I remember my fight very well. The anticipation, the nerves. It was out on the inland part of the beach. I remember the sweat, the frustration, the flames. I stare through Doc's picture and I can hear everyone cheering and chanting as they always did whenever a new fight was about to begin.